So what exactly do local service business owners need to do to make sure their business is showing up everywhere their customers are looking, like AI overviews, LLMs like ChatGPT? What's the difference between traditional SEO and this new AI SEO, GEO, and what do small business owners need to do to make sure they're not getting left behind? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you the exact step-by-step plan that local service business owners need to do to make sure they show up everywhere their customers are looking so you can be found by the people you're called to serve and your business can grow. Welcome to Marketing Domination. Okay, so the first thing that you need to understand is that everybody is calling this AI SEO things a lot of different things. I like to summarize all of this with SEO. SEO used to stand for search engine optimization. Now we at our Garner Consulting, we like to say search everywhere optimization. So it's being found everywhere your customers are looking. And I've heard people call it AI SEO, LLM visibility, GEO, a lot of different things. The main thing you need to know as a local service business owner is you want to make sure that you are being found everywhere your customers are looking, no matter what they're calling it this week. So what I want you to do today in this video is understand what is the difference between this new way of showing up in these AI overviews versus traditional SEO and what you need to do to stand out. So the first thing I want you to understand is that AI SEO does not just show up in a bubble or a vacuum. There's a lot of overlap between AI SEO and just traditional SEO. So to me, good SEO is just good SEO. It's making sure that you are found everywhere your customers are looking. And so in order to do that, you have to have a holistic SEO strategy and not try to just game the system. So what SEO is just being clear and proving why you should rank where you want to rank or where you should be shown where you want to show up. I think too often businesses, if they're not understanding the concept, they think that there's like a hack or a way to gamify the system. And it's not really that, because guess what? If you're not really the best at what you do, it's going to be hard to rank number one. You can't trick or hack it. There might be some like black hat SEO techniques that work for a little bit, but it's just going to end up punishing you in the long run because it's not true. Good SEO is about being clear, improving it so you can rank or show up where you want to rank. So in order to do that, you have to have a holistic SEO strategy. And so in order to do that for local service business owners, there's 5 things that you need to make sure that you have in place to show up everywhere your customers are looking. So the first thing that you need to have in order to show up where your customers are looking is technical SEO. You need to make sure that your website, your brand, technically has all of the back-end fundamentals set up that these crawlers need in order to find your data and to prove to them why you should rank or show up where you want to show up. So this is making sure that our website is not actively blocking these crawlers. So whenever we have these LLM AI tools, Google, Bing, these other crawlers, they have crawlers that go out and scrape the internet for information to find out who should be ranking where. And a lot of times, without even knowing it, local service business owners have their website is blocking AI tools from even being able to crawl and access your website. So we want to make sure that technically our website is sound, so that way these tools can even have the option to crawl our website. And then once they're crawling our website, we want to make it really easy and clear so they can find the information and scrape it that what they need. So they're going to be looking at things like your site title tags and your meta descriptions. And you may have heard those terms before, but unfortunately what I find is most local service business owners, they don't even have that stuff filled out, because what's happened is they hired a web designer to build them a website, and the website designer did that. They built them a website, but they weren't thinking about SEO and making sure that that website actually gets found and seen by people. So it might look really good. You might think to check the box in your mind, like, well, I've got a website. But if your web designer did not know or understand technical SEO foundations, yes, you may have a website. Yes, it may be on the internet somewhere, but if it is not technically set up, it is not being optimized to be able to be found by these crawlers and your potential customers. The second thing that you need to do on your website is you need to make sure you have a really good user experience. So this just isn't for customers when they come to your website. What we want to do is we want to make sure that there's really good internal linking. So whenever somebody lands on your page, it's a very good, easy access to go from the different services that you provide or locations, because this is also affecting the crawlers. they need to be able to crawl and access that data as easy as possible. If your location pages or your service pages are buried deep into your website and it's not easy to click through to find them, well, it's not a good user experience, and that is going to make the crawlers not find that data, so they're not going to be able to show what it is that you do or where you do it. Same thing from the customers though, because one of the ranking factors is when somebody goes to your website, if they immediately click off, let's say they're looking for, IV therapy Miami, your website gets shown up in the results. Somebody clicks on it and goes right back or bounces back, or pogo sticks is what it's called, and they don't stay on the website and interact with it. Well, in the eyes of Google and these crawlers, like, okay, somebody asked for this. I showed them this. They immediately came right back. Let's stop showing this because that must have been an irrelevant result. So we want to make sure that our website is set up in a way that is easy for conversion. So people, when they land there, if it's really doing those services or that service area, they can take an action, they can book the service, they can download your lead generator, they can call your office and schedule an appointment. Whatever the thing is, we want people to take actions on our website. So it needs to load fast. It needs to have a really good user experience so it can be found everywhere our customers are looking. Most small business owners don't fail because of their product. They fail because their marketing is a mess. And if you ever wondered what's missing in yours, I created the Marketing Domination Checklist. It's a simple step-by-step guide to help you build, fill, and optimize your sales funnel so you can finally grow with confidence. Don't keep guessing. Use this checklist to see exactly what's working and what's broken in your marketing. Download it free today at SeanGarner.co/MD checklist. Now, back to the show. The third thing that we need for making sure that we have this holistic SEO strategy in place is we need to make sure that we're adding content to our website on a regular basis. So this is not just about adding blog articles. This is about making sure that our website is being clear and, again, proving what it is we do and where we do it. What I have found with the businesses that have been, in business for 10, 20 plus years, they've been doing it for so long. They just assume that everybody knows what it is they do because maybe they're really popular in their local market. But guess what? That's why I found a lot of legacy businesses starting to drop their rankings in search results because they've kind of let their foot off the gas, and some new businesses come in and they have proving it and being more clear on their website. So that's why they're able to outrank some of these legacy businesses that have been in there for a long time. So you have to realize your website, AI, Google, ChatGPT, all of these platforms and tools, they don't know what happens in the real world unless we tell them. And so we want to make sure everything is on our website, from any awards that we're winning, our customer reviews. We want to make sure we're getting reviews on those platforms like our Google Business Profile, Trustpilot, Yelp, all of those things, and they're linked to our website. We want to make sure that we are very clear showing the services that we provide. Just don't assume because you are a med spa that everybody knows the services that you provide. Don't assume because you're a plumber, everybody knows. Well, do they do residential? Do they do commercial? Do they do 24/7? Is it emergency plumbing? What is their availability? We need to have all of that stuff listed in our website, clear, detailed service pages, sub-service pages. Then we also need to tell them where we do it. What locations or service areas and neighborhoods do we serve? All of this information needs to be on your website, and it needs to be added to on a consistent basis. You don't want to just have a website that you built and then you set back, because guess what? As data is always growing, Google wants to see that your knowledge is always growing on a topic. So that's typically where you do see things like blog articles and everything being added to a website. Blogging is not to do it for blogging's sake. Again, it is about taking the knowledge and expertise that you have in the real world and putting it out there. So Google, whenever they're trying to, and these AI platforms are trying to decide who they should show and where they should show, well, the one that is the most knowledgeable on the topic is going to show higher than somebody that's not. So adding these blog articles to your website is not to get people to read your blog. It's about taking your knowledge and expertise that you have, putting it out there so tools like ChatGPT and Google can crawl it to see that you actually are an expert at what you do, and you're continually learning and growing, so your content should always be continually growing. So real quick recap. Number one, we got to have the technical SEO in place. We also have to have a really good user experience and make sure that our website is set up for those conversions and for getting customers to take action. Third is we have to have content. We have to prove that we are knowledgeable and expert and be very clear on where we do, what we do for our local service business. And the fourth thing that we need to have this holistic SEO strategy is authority, right? Those first three things that I just mentioned, anyone can do, and anybody could do it in a day. You could build a website that's technically sound, that has a really good user experience, and add a bunch bunch of content to the website. But if you truly want to make sure that you are dominating and you're putting this holistic SEO strategy in place, have to have authority. Authority is other people, credible sources, or backlinks pointing back to your website so you can prove to these other platforms that you are trustworthy. Because guess what? Everybody's going to say that they're the best at what they do. Everybody's going to say that they provide these other services and where they do it. But when we get third-party validation and credibility and other websites linking back to ours, that's where it builds the overall trust for our website so we can compete with other businesses. This factor right here is probably the biggest reason why I find websites are not ranking or showing up where they want to rank, is because they have never, a business owner or the SEO that's our agency that's supposed to have been doing this for the business is never doing this strategy. And so to build your authority, there's several things that you need to do. One is you've got to get backlinks. A backlink is just another website that Google already trusts, pointing back to yours, letting them as a ranking factor or a signal is like, hey, you can trust these guys. Think of it kind of like a digital referral, right? Like if you are looking for a good restaurant in your area and the restaurant has a sign out front that says, man, we've got the best tacos in town. Well, you're not going to really trust it. But if your friend comes up to you and says, man, I just ate at this restaurant. They have the best tacos in town. You need to go check it out. You are much more apt to trust that word. Think about that as the same thing for your business. Whenever there's a backlink or another website pointing back to yours, Google, these LLM crawlers, ChatGPT, now trust it a whole lot more. So the more of those you build to your website, the more your overall trust is gained on your website. So that's where when one part of your website grows, everything grows. And so it's not just about building trust around one thing, but now Google can trust all the content a lot more on your website. Your blogs, your service pages, your location pages, all of those things start to grow as you add more backlinks. The second thing is brand mentions. This is where digital PR, press releases, and guest posting on other people's website is huge. You want your brand to be mentioned in multiple places all over the internet. So again, it's not just about saying, I'm the best plumber, I'm the best med spa in whatever city. It's having that third-party accreditation and validation say those exact same things. That's why at our agency, Garner Consulting, digital PR is a huge lever that we pull for this holistic SEO strategy for our clients to make sure that other people and other websites are saying these things about them. Because one of the things of how LLM and these AI overviews work is they don't necessarily look at links and backlinks the same way as Google does. Because Google will actually know the site authority of the website that's referring it, and they'll look at things that are called the anchor text. It's a lot more technical how Google's looking at it. How these AI crawlers are currently looking at it is they're looking for brand mentions. So just even getting your business, your brand mentioned on other websites and talking about it, that you're the best in this area, you won some award, that is huge for increasing your visibility in these tools. Anytime that you can win a local award, whether it be like the chamber, the best in whatever city, local newspaper, that is a big opportunity to help you grow in these platforms, because now you have a third-party credible source saying that your business provides this area and that you've won some award. That is huge for building up your overall authority. The last part of this is making sure that you're getting your citations built out on all these other places. So a citation is just like a directory listing. So the most popular one is obviously your Google Business Profile. We want to make sure that we're getting those built out in local chamber directories, Yelp, Bing, all of the different places to make sure that you are showing up those places, because those are credible sources that link back to your website. So quick recap, technical SEO, we need to have that in place. We need our user experience to be high. We need to be adding content to our website on a regular basis. It's got to be clear and proving why we should rank and where we should rank and show up. The fourth thing is authority. We always need to be adding content on other websites, links on other websites, and brand mentions and digital PR to get us to show up. And the fifth thing is for local service business owners specifically, is making sure your Google Business Profile is optimized. We talked a little bit about that with some other citations with authority. With Google Business Profile, that is showing up specifically in the Google Map pack. Now, how AI leverages that a little bit differently is a lot of these AI crawlers, they're not necessarily looking specifically at your Google Business Profile for reviews. They are looking at other platforms and tools. Bing, for example, pulls a lot on Yelp reviews. A lot of these AI platforms are also looking at platforms like Trustpilot. So making sure that you've got reviews there on your Facebook profile, and we're not just collecting reviews on our Google Business Profile. That is awesome. Google Business Profile is, I would say, the king right now, because so many people still use Google as a search engine. But for AI visibility specifically, they seem to be leaning more towards some of these other third-party websites like Yelp, like Trustpilot, and making sure that you are getting reviews on there and collecting those reviews, because that's where these AI platforms right now are scraping that data. So we want to make sure Google Business Profile is optimized and set up so you're showing up in the Google Map Pack. But if you want to make sure that you're getting a lot of reviews and credibility in these other platforms, you got to make sure that you're collecting reviews in those others, and those platforms and directories are set up as well. So if you want your business to be found everywhere your customers are looking, you have to put this holistic SEO strategy in place. And if it sounds confusing and overwhelming, we don't want it to be. That's why exactly we put these strategies in place for all of our clients. Sean Garner Consulting. If you want us to do a complete audit of your current website, your SEO, see how you're performing, and show you what you need to do so your business can grow and you can dominate your industry, go to our website, seangarner.co, book a call with me. I'm going to personally do a deep dive review of everything with you, show you the blind spots and opportunities that you have so you can make sure that you're found everywhere your customers are looking. Looking forward to talking to you guys soon. Have an awesome day.